Okay, I'm going to show you how to create the isometric drawing for the object in exercise 1. Now, to remind ourselves, let's take a look at the orthographic projections. And what we're doing is we're going to draw the isometric view for this guy right here. This lower left drawing is the front face, the front view. And we can see that we've got a straight square in the back. So this solid line on the back tells us that the back of this object is a square. But then we've got this diagonal line in the front view that tells us that there's an extra edge on the front face of this object. And then if we look at the top view, we can see we kind of got the same thing. We've got an overall base bottom object of a square, but then we've got this diagonal line here that tells us that something's lopped off on this edge. And then this side view, this is the side orthographic projection, and it just gives us a little more detail about what's happening on the side. So let's create the three-dimensional orthographic view. And I'm doing this on larger paper so that you can see better. And I'm going to be brave. And I'm going to use a pen so that it shows up nicely. I'm going to lock this autofocus so it quits zooming in and out. Okay, so I'm going to start with the front face. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, so on this front face, I'm going to start with the bottom edges, and then I'm going to draw the straight side and this straight side. I'm not going to try to measure this diagonal, I'll just connect my vertices. Now the thing about orthographic paper is this, that you can see, once you get used to looking at it, you can see three different axes or planes. These diagonal lines here are our x-axis, and this is where we're going to draw our front. This is like the bottom. The vertical lines are the vertical axis, and the horizontal lines that go the other way are the y-axis. So we've got a floor here. We've got a wall and another wall, and then this would make a ceiling. And you can see I've just made a cube. Orthographic paper, once you get used to it, is really quite handy because it gives you all three axes. So we're just going to start with the front view. And there are no dimensions given. I'm just going to use 4 for the length of the side, and I'm going to eyeball it and say that those slants are at the halfway point. So starting in the lower left-hand corner and going, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the bottom edge of my front face. Goes up 4. That's the left edge of my front face. There's my top straight, and this is my top, or sorry, my lower straight. And now I'm going to connect. I thought I locked that. And I'm going to connect those two lines. And if you think about it, if you look at the orthographic projection, I'm not going to pull it back over here, but if you look at it, this is the front, what we would think of as the front edge. So this edge right here is that diagonal edge in that front orthographic projection. In a minute, we're going to get, we know that there's a back corner back here. But right now, let's do the top. So that upper view has got this edge here is already there on that top view, so we don't have to redraw it. we've got a straight edge going back. Then we've got an intact back corner. And this one comes up too, and again, we have got this diagonal edge slipped in here. We're getting there. So this is the lopped off part of our front and the lopped off part of our top view. If we look at the side view now, we've got those two straight edges. But that side view also has an L shape drawn into it. So that's going to start here and come down to and over to, and we're almost there. The only thing missing from the side view is this seam right here. And that is the three-dimensional isographic view of the object represented by that. This is the orthographic projection view in the textbook. This is the isometric view. With practice, you'll be able to see these more easily, but until your eye has developed into seeing this way, because it is a skill, trust the projections. Start by drawing the front, just like I did. Then do the top, and start with all your straight stuff. Okay? And then draw the side, and then fill in the seams. Your orthographic projections can help if you can use your isographic paper or isometric paper and realize that this is the front plane, this is the top plane, and this is the right plane. I really hope this helps. It is frustrating when you struggle with something like this, but it is a skill that will get better with practice.